I got another review for you today. Shawshank Redemption. Well, Rita Hayworth in the Shawshank Redemption. But it was published by Stephen King, featured in different seasons. It's a novella. It was pretty good. I definitely give that 4 out of 5 stars to start out. Basically, there's this guy, the narrator. His name is Red, and he's telling a story about a guy named Andy. So, to say the least, it is a second-person point of view, and just because it focuses on Andy, which is one of the leading characters of the story, doesn't mean that the narrator of the story is just there to tell this guy's story. The narrator is just as important as Andy is. And pretty much the narrator, he starts out by saying that he murdered his wife. And the thing is, at that particular time in his life when he was murdering his wife, he broke the brake line in her car, and little did he know that his wife had other passengers in the car with her. So for that, he got 3 life sentences, because Maine doesn't believe in the death penalty, so he got 3 life sentences for 3 murders. And then he goes on to tell you a story about a man named Andy. I think his last name is pronounced Fresney or something. I don't know. I've never seen the movie, so I really don't know how to pronounce that. So if you want, you can correct me on that, which is perfectly fine. But anyway, Andy gets falsely accused, more or less, of killing his wife and his wife's lover because his wife was having an affair. But you go on later to find out that he wasn't at all guilty, and the warden just didn't care. He didn't set up anything with his lawyers. The warden, all in all, just did not care that Andy was, in fact, not guilty. But the actual story really ends probably around page like 80, but it goes on for like another 17 pages of the narrator kind of doing his point of view and what he thinks happened, and where he thinks, just what he thinks had happened to specific stuff that happened. But in a way, I can identify with Red, the narrator of the story, not by the choices that he's made or by his personality, but by more or less the way he thinks. Because there's little instance towards the end of it where I'm not going to say exactly what he says. I'm just going to kind of give you the brief sum it up for you. Basically what he says is that you become so familiar with the place that you just don't want to leave and go out into the real world and experience new things and become a part of something brand new, because you become so familiar and adapted to a certain routine or a place or something. I can identify with that because, you know, everybody goes through their entire life in school. They start from kindergarten and then until they graduate senior year, which is 12th grade, and then you're broadening your horizon and becoming part of something bigger than you, and bigger than high school, and just bigger than school in general, and you're unfamiliar with it, and you're very uncertain of where you can go, what you can do. And that's kind of the point that Red makes in his narrative point of view of his life. And also I identify with him filling in the blanks stuff that pertain to Andy himself, because he didn't get to witness a lot of what had happened to Andy in his experience in Shawshank, which is the prison that they're held in for their crimes, committed or not committed. And basically the entirety of the book is about hope, and you learn that very, very later on within the story. And it was different from anything that I've read by Stephen King. It was more slow paced, and I mean, he did very great with describing the prison life and the adaptation that prison goers I guess go through, and just different stuff about it. It was very unique, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and that's basically it for what I have to say about it, and thank you for watching.